Yo, this is Top Flight, and today we're back on the Ren journey. We're about to watch Ren Eden.
Yeah, one of another person who had Eden in their title, Sleep Token.
Yeah,
Both dope songs. Well, I don't know if this is dope, but I guarantee it's dope just because I haven't really seen anything that let me down yet.
yeah. I can't remember the Sleep Token title. It's something from Eden. That's one of the
Yeah.
ones that performed one of the best on that everyone
Yeah.
loved on our page. That was a dope one. So let's check out this Ren Eden and see what goes down. This is actually a long one.
Is it?
Yeah, it's 850.
I feel like at the beginning, a lot of his videos were really long, and now they've recently just been like 2 and 3 minutes.
I think that's because the other ones were those like theoretical trailers that he had, like the movies. They're like the full movies, like the Screech's Tail and all that stuff like that. I think that's why they were way longer. They come from then, like I didn't see, I really, from when we started, I really didn't see all this coming from him. You know what I'm saying?
Neither
Like
did
it's
I.
crazy. Like that the excitement of I'd say like the Renegades. Usually I don't listen to people because they'll be like, "Man, you're in for a ride or you're in for a treat when you go down this." You know what I'm saying? And then I get through it and I'm kind of like, "That sounds like the rest of the stuff." You know what I'm saying? But in this actual journey, people said it and were like, "Oh, you have not seen anything yet," and they were like, "Go all the way down this and it'll be totally like wild and different." And it really was like it's so far it will be the whole time, but it's like that's like one of those ones that I would tell people and be like, yeah, it really is like totally different than what you think. Like,
Well, yeah, it's like we talk to a lot of artists. Like I may talk to 50 to 100 artists a day, but there's a handful of artists out of those I mentor and I give them advice and I always reference other success stories. And Ren has come up probably the most recently. Like, hey, you need ideas with content? Look at this. Touching base on your pillars of what you believe in and what you stand for and who you are as a person. Go look at
Ren.
this. Look at the way he performs his videos. Look at his covers. Like it's almost like he's one of the most well-rounded, talented independent artists, or appearing to be independent artists that we know. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's just controlling his narrative. Like no one's pulling his strings. You know what I mean?
Yep. And that's what's so dope about it. But let's get into this Ren Eden.
Let me tell you a story as old as time, the story of Adam and Eve. It starts with a God who wanted more. God had just created the heavens and the earth. He had the angels by his side, but they had no will of their own, and so the autonomy to love or reject him was never theirs. All but for one, the once called bringer of light, Lucifer, morning star. Lucifer was the fairest and most intelligent of all the angels. He was the closest thing to God's image, and in his likeness, Lucifer felt restless. He began to question and doubt God. He doubted the hierarchy imposed upon him. He felt God was arrogant. In his frustration, Lucifer built a throne that stood even above God's and declared mutiny. A war ensued. God, being all-powerful, came out the victor and banished Lucifer from the heavens and exiled him to earth. Once again, God was alone with his power. Perhaps from loneliness, perhaps from curiosity, perhaps from a desire to share love, God began to work on his greatest project yet, a being that would mirror himself, the human, two humans specifically, Adam and Eve. They were placed inside a paradise built for them on earth, the Garden of Eden. In the garden, God placed a tree that bared fruit that would grant anyone who ate it powers bestowed only to a God, to tell good from evil, left from right, to live righteously or to sin. He named this the tree of knowledge. God told Adam and Eve they could eat whatever they wanted in the garden, but never the fruit from the tree of knowledge. And if they disobeyed him, it would be punishable by death. The basic way the story of Eden is told is that Eve was tempted by Lucifer in the form of a serpent to eat a fruit from the tree of knowledge. Convinced, she bit the fruit, she passed it to Adam, and he did the same. Suddenly, ultimate knowledge filled their minds, and they realized they were naked and felt shame. God discovered this betrayal and felt angered. He exiled Adam and Eve and cursed them with the life of a mortal. They would work, they would bear children, and they would die. The fate of a human. Now look deeper.
In the story, the serpent tempted me by telling me I would gain ultimate knowledge and that God would spare me.
Both were true.
This wasn't some great deception, meaning that Satan, in the likeliness of God, perhaps understood his intentions. In fact,
The only lie uttered in the
Garden of Eden was
by God, who did not end up
condemning
Adam and Eve to
death.
This could be seen as an act of
Mercy, but the sheer fact that the tree existed and that humans
were initially cut off from this knowledge.
may imply some part of God was afraid that if humans were granted the gift of perception, they, like Lucifer, would have the power to reject him too. The fact that there stood a beautiful tree that could
grant this knowledge in the first place
implies that a small part of
God, supposedly all-knowing,
perhaps wanted and intended
the humans to bite too.
In the Bible, Satan was an exiled angel of free will. Humans are exiled
descendants of Adam and Eve.
also with free will. Not only have we shared a similar fate to the devil, we were also both constructed in
We
the
were
image of
also
our
both
Creator,
constructed in the image of our Creator.
meaning our behaviors, in some shape or form, imperfectly echo his.
We could assume that this kind of
God has his doubts,
But-
but as the most
powerful
being in the universe,
he has no one above him
to turn to with questions, and no one to
Doubt but himself, an incredibly lonely and isolating existence.
We must only assume that the common thread between God, Lucifer, and us is the desire for more, an eternal curiosity, a desire perhaps birthed from a seed of loneliness. If not, why would we exist in the first place? The constantly looping bittersweet irony is whether gifted by some omnipotent God or simply a byproduct of billions of years of evolution, here we stand in 2023 as creatures with free will, the only creatures that understand and define good from bad, creatures with the potential of a God. And what do we do with that free will, my friends? We willingly walk to the edge of a cliff. In the name of progress, we jump off the precipice. The empires we build ravage the earth. The natural order of things are necessary to survive. Any systems which do not honor homeostasis eventually perish. Our free will overrides our own biological instinct. We can take more than we eat. We can kill more than we need. We can willingly create weapons with the potential to burn everything we've built to the ground. We willingly decide to bow at the altar of greed, the most insidious and destructive of all sins. We put our faith in corporations who pose as rulers. We willingly allow ourselves to be led by outdated power systems ran by corrupted politicians and bloated dictators who claim domain and dominion over an open and free land. We willingly elect the corrupted when the decision was always ours to build something better. We willingly create and impose separation because of beliefs that we are force-fed through our phones and television sets. We always had the will to reject these things, but we adhere to them as though they were the laws of physics. War, famine, pestilence, greed, these aren't things imposed upon us by an all-powerful God or by his demonic adversary. They are here because of us. Not because of free will, but because of our inability to use it. We must be motivated to be better, not out of fear of punishment of an eternal damnation, but because the choice exists, because we love ourselves, because we have the power to absolve ourselves of so much unnecessary suffering. Take a second to be in this very moment. In this moment, how much suffering is happening all over the planet right now? How many people are dying of illnesses that could have easily been cured, but aren't because of the selfishness and greediness of humanity? How many people break their backs and reject their own passions to simply afford bills and food? How many of us crave distraction from existence? How many of us numb that pain in whatever way necessary? How many children are being abused? How many people sleep cold and hungry on the streets? How many of us become cogs inside a machine that is destroying itself? How many soldiers have been forced to fight in meaningless nameless wars? How many humans have killed for ideals they don't believe in or understand? How many people have died for the greed of another man? And how much of this was avoidable? As written in the Bible, Satan was not condemned to hell. Satan was condemned to earth. He lives there amongst other creatures with free will, who always had the choice and still chose their own undoing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our self-made hell. The bittersweet irony is this is a creation of our own design. I'll leave you with this. Consider what you have done here today. You have worked together as individuals collaborating to form a giant neural network, a hive mind capable of achieving incredible things. We have lent on each other's strengths to solve puzzles and decipher riddles, and we've done so to win money. Imagine applying that same spirit and determination to creating the closest thing we have to paradise here on Earth. By using the power of collaboration, we can work together to even the playing field for everybody. Our dystopias can become utopias. Our Jahannams can become Jannah. Our hells can become heaven, right here on Earth. And this sentiment applies to atheists, agnostics, and believers alike. Myself, I'm an agnostic who believes. I believe in us. We must do better because we can choose to. We must be better simply because the option exists. Thank you.
Wow. That may have been one of the most powerful pieces of art he's put together that I've seen personally.
Yeah.
Like, I think it even applies to us, me and you, forming in collaboration to disrupt a corrupt system and working together and seeing the forces that come against us every step of the way, when all we're trying to do is give access to artists to freely put their art on stages. And it goes so much deeper than that, right? Like, what his message has nothing to do with that, but it's
No, but it does. It does have to do with
see it.
communication and then greed of why you can't do it. And that's the obstacles you face of the people who are totally greedy of this scenario. And it's just one of those things. Like, the crazy part was the part to me where he said, what did he say? He said, it's not that it's the devil doing it. It's us not basically doing free will.
Yeah.
Like, we're following an actual trend of like a system that is put there by choice. And yeah.
Well, there's some, like, you know, I don't know too much, so me even trying to repeat this is risky because I don't understand it, right, 100%. But I've heard stories even within the Bible of, like, is God God? Is devil the devil? Which is which? You know what I mean? Because why would you put someone here with these, like, it doesn't all make sense, but it does. What does make sense is what we see every day, you know, and our choices. And you see how people make choices based off of greed and based off of, like, we're all good and evil at some sense. You know what I mean? They say your shadow self or this or that. We all make good and bad choices, but I don't know. You do see these problems in the world could be simply helped or fixed, but greed won't allow it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I mean, even like him or hate him, he said one thing one time that kind of stuck with me. Elon Musk was like, yeah, we could take water and give clean water to Detroit in a day or two really easily, but the bureaucracy won't allow it because of all the red tape. And I think that's every problem in the world. You know what I mean? Is like suffering across countries, like, you go downtown and you see homeless people dying from these things, and it's like, it doesn't have to be like that.
Yeah.
But somebody needs more money than the other person, and money is just an evil. It's America's God, unfortunately. You know.
My dad always says, he's like, I don't know why they want it so bad because they can't leave with it. He's like, they're gonna die just like everybody else, and he's like, they just gonna disappear and they can't leave with it. But hey,
the only thing you leave with people is memories.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see, I've seen good people turn evil, and I've seen evil people turn good. So I don't know. It's a strange, them as a dichotomy or whatever, you know what I mean? But it's interesting. You know, it's interesting when you watch something that powerful and then you speak about it, because the world is scared to speak now because of how cancel culture is. You know what I mean? But I also feel as long as you put the people first, even if everyone condemns you or hate you for what you say, as long as you put people first at a basic level, people
I
always
feel
win.
like whatever it is, speak your truth, and it is what it is. Just be with. As I always say, you got to be with the shits, whatever it is. Like if it's gonna like destroy you, then be with it. Like otherwise, I don't even believe you believe it, no matter what you say. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever I believe, I'm willing to say, and I'm willing to take whatever comes with it. Like I grew up in a, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like in a world where a lot of things weren't okay when I was growing up, but I just feel like so I'm gonna take whatever comes with it because I believe what I believe. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like my dad was a Panther. You know what I'm saying? And then went into Vietnam and intentionally gets drafted and then becomes, you know what I'm saying, a sniper, everything like that. And then so I've always been with the shits of whatever I believe and whatever happens. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a stand ten, as they say, as the young kids say, stand 10 toes down on what you believe, and that's why I respect Ren so much, is because you stand 10 toes down on what you believe, and whatever comes with that comes with it. If people don't mess with you or if people mess with you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta stay with what you believe, and then you can always tell the people who just believe it for stuff like greed and stuff like that. Like you're seeing that right now. There's tons of people with these beliefs because they have belief in greed, and then because their greed's not working out right now, now they're running around and scrounging and shit. And it's like inside that understanding, that means you really weren't like that. And you see people, and you see that they really ain't like that. They talk crazy on the news, they talk crazy everywhere, and then they really ain't like that in person. If you really like that, you got to be like that all the time, 24/7. And that's what I respect. And I feel like someone like him, he is like this all the time. Because when you get broken down, even with illness, and you get broken down all the way to the bottom of seeing death, and you're like, you really feel the way you feel, and you could care less what anyone thinks. You're just going to say what you feel. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to help where you can help and do what you need to do because you don't want to see no one else suffer like that. And so that's where I love it. Like I love the stuff he's releasing, and I like that he takes the time to do stuff like this because a lot of people ain't gonna take the time to do it.
They're not. So, like, subscribe, comment, let us know what you think. But this is one of our deeper talks on the reaction channel so far. So if you made it this far, let us know, because I want some real comments. Like, I feel this way. Agree or disagree, I respect how y'all feel and believe. So stand on it.